pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Roll call. Sandra Calvert. Here. Corbin Averill. Norm Warner.
Here.
Dustin Combs.
Here.
Beth Wood. Approval of minutes from November 21st. Do I have, is there anything?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
Okay,
Abstain.
okay, vote.
Who's doing it?
We'll get to the next thing. Okay. Okay, so reorganization of the board, election of president.
I nominate Norm.
I second. Wait a minute, we need to let him weigh in.
We've nominated Norm for president.
Oh, I will second that nomination. Right, your answer.
I will accept.
All right, vote. Or is there any other nominations? Okay, so we'll close nominations and there'll be a vote.
Okay, I will open nominations for vice president.
I make the motion to nominate Sandra Calvert for vice president.
I second. Any other nominations? Seeing none, we'll close nominations. All in favor? 4-0. All righty. Thank you for serving him, ma'am. Gentlemen, let's move on. Public hearing for a design variance, BZA 24-25, Leonard White and Zachary Hauk. If you will please come forward, state your name and address, and then present your application, please. We will get going.
Zachary Hauk, 5037 Palestine Cemetery Road. And my application was for a permit variance to get my mini barn. It's supposed to be more than 75 feet away from the road. Due to the layout of the land and the slope, I cannot comply to that, unfortunately. So that's why I would like to set it at 30 feet away from the road. It'll be sitting on my driveway, which meets the road in two different spots. It'll be at the center of the driveway. And that's basically the most convenient spot that I can put it.
What's the dimensions on that little building?
Was it? It's 12 by 16.
12 to 16. And you said it'll be 30 feet off center?
Yes, sir. On the center of the road.
Everything? Anything else, sir?
No, that's
Just
it.
the mini barn?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion approved by Sandra,
Second.
second by Corbin. All in favor of this variance, show of hands. 4-0. Good to go.
Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
No problem. All right. Moving on. As soon as I get my agenda back in front of me. Public hearing for design variance BZA 2024-26, Lewis and Stephen Fender. Please come forward, state your name and address, and present your application.
Steve Fender, 1278 Rocky Hill Road, Spencer, Indiana. My name is Richard Norman. I represent that business.
One of you's kind of run us through what you're wanting to do here.
We give, me and my brother give my niece and her husband, some land to build a house on. They've got had all the permits for the septic and all the building permits and all that.
Okay.
And then, for the well, all that. And then, she's got they've got the lake in front of them, the valley each side. And if we go up, we're going up the hill where we'd like to keep access. We need to get to that part of the property.
So are they building on the old slaughterhouse side of the lake? Is that-
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So it's up that hill if we try to give her more.
It's been surveyed for 3.04 acres. And we don't believe, it's surrounded by Fender property that is residential.
The nearest neighbor's better than a quarter mile.
We don't believe the change would harm anything.
No.
It looks like you're giving them easement right off of the
Yeah.
existing road, so, okay. There's no, that's agricultural currently?
That is agricultural.
Okay.
It was in timber reserve.
Okay, is it out of timber now, I'm assuming?
Yeah, that portion.
Okay.
Plus they had the survey was recorded and stuff, so there was no issue at that time.
All right,
So,
all right, so I'm
where
gonna,
we could have changed it at that time if this had been in effect.
right. Okay, anything else? That's pretty much what we're looking for, is a split 3.04 in the center of their property, and that'll be deeded to someone else, and will be, I'm assuming, zoned residential then?
It'll still be rezoned agricultural, they'll have to rezone it if they want to do anything further to it.
Okay, all right. So I've got to go through this script, and then we'll move on. Let's see, the Board of Zoning Appeals shall approve or deny variances for development standards such as setbacks of the zoning ordinance. The BZA may impose reasonable conditions as part of the BZA approval process. A variance may be approved only under determination in writing of the following. The approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, moral, or general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner, and the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in the practical difficulties in the use of the property. So established in the foundation, public notice in accordance with Indiana Codes 5312 and 5314 must be published in the paper 10 days prior to the meeting. Did that happen?
Yes.
Okay. At least 10 days prior to the hearing, the planning director shall notify all interested parties of the public hearing by certified mail. Did that happen?
Yes.
At least 10 days prior to the hearing, the planning director shall post and maintain a sign on the subject property notifying those passing the property that the request of variance approval for the property has been made. And I drive by it every day, so I've seen the sign. It was there. Following the hearing, the board shall take action on the application. The board may approve, deny, or approve with conditions. That's our three options. The board shall make written findings of fact in support of their decision, and then that would be in the packet that would be available for pickup once the process is over. The application shall first present the facts and arguments, which you've already done, and the burden shall be on the applicant to supply the information necessary for a clear understanding of the proposal. So we will open it back up with questions on our end here in just a minute. Following the application's presentation, we'll take comments from the public, and then any person wishing to speak must register with the secretary and state their name and address. After the public portion of the hearing is closed, the board may address questions or comments to the applicant or other persons if, in the board opinion, the information necessary to make an informed decision. And then the whole thing, of course, will be recorded. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get public. Do we have any public comment on this application? For or against? Seeing none, board, do you guys have any further questions?
I do not.
All righty. No further questions, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance to allow the use of the property for the subdivision that we're talking about here.
I'll second.
All right, it's been motion by Corbin and seconded by Dustin. All in favor of granting this variance, show of hands, 4-0. You guys are in business.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Like I said, the paperwork will be available, it'll be next week, but I don't know when. That'd be, just contact her and she will get you what you need.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Okay. Where's that letter? I'll pass that down to Corbin in a minute. So, 27, 28, right?
Yeah, 27 we're on.
So the last two applications that we have, we actually do have a written objection. It's not to the specific application, it's more to the function, and these two have read it and I've read it, so
There you go.
I'll give you a second to peruse that before we move forward. With that being said, public hearing for design variance BZA 2024-27, Heather and Skylar Killigan, how you say it? Klingon, okay, come forward, name, address, and then present your application, please.
Heather Klingon, 1506 North Cataract Road, Cloverdale.
All right, just run us through your
Okay,
application.
we're just asking for a design variance to parcel off 1 acre of land that includes a 3-car garage and a house that's currently existing. Will allow us to sell it in the future since we're building a house back behind on the rest of our property. There's a property that neighbors up to us that is of lesser acres than what our current parcel is. And then surrounding us, there'd be no difference. The value of the land would actually go up with the building of our house back on the rest of our property. There's no new neighbors or any other harmful things that would damage anyone surrounding our area.
And the current size of the property is?
It's almost 23 acres.
And then there is no agriculture.
And there's owned agricultural, okay. And you're splitting off 1 acre
Just 1 acre.
with a
yes.
house and a 3-car garage?
Correct.
The road, the driveway, is that going to service this 1 acre as well?
There's actually a driveway in front of
Oh, I
that
see
1
it.
acre
Okay.
property that will allow us to both have our own driveway when we do sell the property.
Okay.
So there will be no need for easement.
Do we know about how far that's setting off the the property line there on the, what would be the east side?
What setting?
The structure here that's setting at an angle, do we know how far that is to the property line?
I do not know how far that is.
If it's not on the survey, they probably didn't know it.
It's 101.4 across. Which if it's 25, right?
Yeah, minimum would be 25 feet. Yeah, why not?
These are existing structures or they will be there?
There are already existing structures. The house was built in the 70s.
Oh, okay. So that'd be pre-existing anyway?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else? All right, public comment on this application, for or against? Anyone? Seeing none, board? Any more questions?
No.
All right. Should have went through the written findings. for that last one. We'll cover that. If you're okay with hearing it before, I won't read it again, or I can do it if you really want me to.
It's okay.
Are you good? Okay. I mean, I know I have a really nice voice, but, okay, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the design variance.
I'll second.
Motion made by Dustin, seconded by Sandra. All in favor, show of hands. 4-0? Okay, you're good to go. Your written findings will be in your packet when you go to pick it up, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All righty, thank you.
But back to this complaint, are we required to address her, or are we allowed to just ignore it, or we?
Well, I made mention
Okay.
that it applies to the last two that we're doing.
Right, okay, I didn't know.
That one
And the next one.
Okay, gotcha.
I think if you just ask to put it in the minutes,
Mhm.
I think it's up to you guys.
So I'll make a motion that we put this in with the rest of the minutes as a submitted document. And I would like to have our county attorney take a look at it to make sure that we're in compliance with what we need to be doing. Does that sound
Yep,
good?
sounds good.
All right. All in favor? All righty, pass that back over and we'll put that in with the records.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, last but not least, BZA 2024-28. Dax and Valerie Bunch. Come forward, name and address, please, and then run us through your application if you would.
Dax Bunch, the address is 3492 Pumpkin Ridge Road.
Valerie Bunch, same address.
And we are pretty much doing exactly what you just heard from our, and I'm actually the builder for that property, so it's ironic for.
I was gonna say you're real close together.
Yeah, we're pretty much neighbors. But, so what we did is we bought a neighboring property to where I live, I've been there 26 years. And it's a 5.58 parcel that we are tracking off 1.17 acres that we've already had surveyed and building a residential home on it. It's now agricultural property, and then obviously just because of the parceling, why we're requesting this. It's a new thing, it just kind of came out of nowhere on us, so I've built a lot of homes in Owen County, and this kind of just came up on us, so we're jumping through the hoops on these couple.
So this property ain't currently in any kind of subdivision or anything either, right?
It was, no, it's just one parcel in the country. Kind of strange because it actually had two addresses and it had a,
It still does.
yeah, it still does, but it had never been parceled off. It had a trailer on it, very dilapidated trailer. We removed that and built a brand new residential home, so it's very upscale from what it was.
So the original lot was 5.58, you said,
Yes,
and
sir.
you're taking 1.17 out of that?
Yes, sir.
And can you meet on the 1.17 acres, can you meet all of our setbacks, 25 on the
Yes,
sides,
sir.
50 in
We
the
don't
front?
do all the hoops for all that,
Right.
yes.
And then we're not gonna landlock this thing, right?
No, sir.
Which I see that you've got a drive going right.
Road trying to drive on the corner.
Right.
The property actually goes across the road to the other property. It's really strange how things lay out there. It's, jumps across the road and stuff.
You got anything else?
No, sir, that's it.
Okay. Now, this is not an existing house, right? You're building going on that 1.17? Is that
Yes,
correct?
We're building it, yes.
All right. All right. Public comment on this property, for or against, anybody? Nope. All right, you guys have any questions, concerns, anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So will that be the only one you're building there, Jack?
I'm sorry?
Will that be the only house on that plot that you're building there?
Yes.
Because, you know, that's the reason why I was down there.
Okay.
If I want to live by a subdivision, I'd put it in Indianapolis.
Yeah,
I've been down there 30 years and I don't want to see it become that.
Right, yeah.
I will fight in tooth and nails if we have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, Just wondering.
Okay.
Thank you.
So 4.6 and 1.17.
Interesting, because they go down to the front, and then they go on and move up. Very interesting.
Where's the septic going to be on the 1.17? Is
It's
that,
already existing.
it's already there? Has it been inspected?
Yes, sir, it went through Owen County, I
Okay.
guess. There was a trailer there, and, yeah, it was
She's tied into the septic that's already there.
correct, yeah.
And the finger system for the 1.17, it doesn't stray across the property, the proposed property line, correct?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I just check it, because we have had a few that do that.
Oh, yeah.
That causes a lot of
Actually,
problems.
that has actually happened to me, so that's a very good question.
Okay.
Not in this state, but in Kentucky, we had that happen to us, so.
Well, we had one a couple of months ago where they were pulling it out because that had happened, and so
Yeah, the
I
tank's
just
on
like,
one side and the fingers are on the other.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they finished into the other property was the deal, if I remember right, but, so we don't want that, because that just causes problems down the road. Okay, like I said, if you really want me to read this, I can, but it applies to all the last three, so, if you want to hear it again, I'll read through it, otherwise,
We're good.
okay.
So you-
All right, the written findings will be available in the packets when she gets done with them. You'll just contact her and find out, and I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the design variance as listed in the application.
Okay,
I'll second.
Corbin, seconded by Sandra. All in favor of the granting the variance? All righty. You guys are in, like I said, it'll be available sometime, probably next week in the office, and you should be ready to go.
Okay, thank
Your
you.
written findings will be in your packet when you go to pick it up.
Very good.
Okay. Oh, let me get my agenda back over here. Okay. Moving on, public comments. You guys got anything? Sing, dance, anything?
That's why I'm still here.
Staff report? What do we got next month?
Nothing, Mo?
You currently have nothing next month, so.
Darn. BZA member comments. I would like to say thanks, I guess. I'll do my best.
Well, thank you for doing a great job.
Sandra, thanks for stepping up and taking that vice spot. Appreciate you guys always showing up. This is a pretty good board, and I think we do some good work, so.
We expect the same quality we got out of you last year as we do this year.
Yeah.
Hey, I am getting older and slower, for sure.
Me too.
Okay, before we adjourn, I want to go through these findings, written findings with her, so she can make some notes on each one of these applications. So, on the first one, let me get my criteria out here. Approval will not be injurious to the public safety, moral, or general welfare of the community. I think that the proposed change really has no effect on the surrounding property. We're putting a mini barn
Right.
on somebody's property.
Right.
So, and then
Thank you, guys.
the use and value of the area adjacent to the property, including the variance, will not be affected in a substantially inverse manner. If they're putting a nice building in there, I would contend that it will actually make the property worth more, and it will not hurt the adjacent property values. And strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties. He's wanting to put that on his road. The road happens to be 30 feet off the road, and it looks, if I remember right, it drops off quite substantially, so that would be his practical difficulty, is the lay of the land. And if we try to move it back to the 75 feet requirement.
Yep.
Everybody agree with those findings on that
Agreed.
piece of property? All righty. Rocky Hill Road, approval will be to the public health, safety, moral, and general welfare of the community. This is in the middle of a family-owned
Family
piece of
property,
property.
yeah.
It's a family member. I don't know that it affects the public health, safety, moral, or general welfare of the community at all.
Not at all.
Use of the land of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a statutorily adverse manner. Same argument, they're in the middle of their property, it's not gonna affect the neighbors, other than maybe an extra car coming in and out, which is probably already doing that.
Right.
Use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a statutorily adverse manner. Same argument there. I see no impact financially on the surrounding properties. So would everyone agree with those findings?
Yes.
Okay. Property 2024-27, and that's the split out of a 23 acre one to put an acre and then plant the house on it. With the way that's being split and where it's located, I don't see interests or public safety, moral or general welfare affecting the community around it. Use and value of the area adjacent to property, including the variance, will be affected in a substantially adverse manner. I really don't see that on a 1 acre split out of a 23 acre lot. And then the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in a practical difficulty to use the property. I as an individual do not want to get into the business of telling people what they can do with their
Agreed.
property within reason. If they've got the means and they follow the criteria that we've set forth, then I'm in favor of that. So that's our findings on that one, Susan. Unless anybody's got an objection to that.
Nope, I agree.
Last one, 2024-28. Same deal, smaller piece of property. I will say, I have a little concern about maybe getting split again, but we can just shoot that down when it happens.
Right, we'll have the.
Beyond that, even the neighbor didn't have a problem with this split, it would be an additional one,
Additional
which
splits, yeah.
I would probably have a problem with too, because now we're getting into a situation where you are affecting the adjacent properties.
Right.
So, interest to the public health, safety, moral, and general welfare of the community, not at this time, not with the proposed change. Use and value of the area adjacent to the property, including variance, will not be affected in a statutorily adverse manner, not with one split. We may want to make a note in there that this property would not be appropriate for an additional split.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, it might,
Based on,
just in case there's a different board, whenever that comes
Right.
back up, says that this board recommends that no more
you know,
splitting.
we recommend this be the
Mhm.
only split of that parcel,
Yeah,
if everybody's good with that.
yeah,
And then the strict application of the terms of zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. Obviously, if we don't allow the split, they cannot sell that piece.
Correct.
And there again, now we're telling people what to do with their property within reason. So I think our statement on criteria 2 covers it.
Agreed.
Okay? You good with that?
Yep.
All right, we got everything we need then? Yep. All right. Is there any other business that I don't know about that we need to deal with?
Yep.
Okay. Seeing none, I will make a motion to adjourn.
all right, second.
And
Thank you.
we are adjourned. Thank you very much.